So here's the model we're going to use for our narrative writing this week. We are going to write a fictional narrative paragraph. And our prompt is, imagine a story character is in trouble. We're going to write a paragraph that tells what happens to the character, and we're going to make sure that we tell events in a sequence that makes sense. So let's go ahead and read number 1. Lucas stepped into the dark basement to look for his ball. His eyes slowly got used to the weak light. Then, bang! The cellar door slammed shut behind him. The basement was pitch black. At first Lucas tried to stay calm, but then he felt the rapid thump of his heart. Just as he was about to yell for help, he heard a click as his dad opened the door. So here we have the situation, okay? Outlined very well in the fact that we know exactly, we can picture the events in our head. We have description like weak light and that the door slammed and the pitch blackness. We can all imagine that. We can also imagine how Lucas felt. All right, we have our sequence words. There are sequence words at first and then. Then we have a nice closure to this paragraph. He did this writing is really done well. All right. So let's talk about what makes a great fictional narrative paragraph, and then we'll take our turn on paragraph number 2. So what makes a great fictional narrative paragraph? The beginning introduces the character and the situation. The events are told in a sequence that makes sense. We have our time-ordered transition words like first, next, and then. That will help us tell the order of the events in the story. We have descriptions. We have vivid words that help tell readers what the characters see, hear, and experience. And then we have a paragraph that provides a sense of closure and ends in a way that makes sense. All right? So let's see if we can find these things in our second paragraph. Let's read it first. Monique had not realized that the tree was so tall. As she scrambled from branch to branch, she realized how far she was from the ground. Now she was stuck. She felt foolish for listening to her brother's dare. And then she heard him call up to her again. But instead of teasing her, he told her the best way to get down. She decided not to stay mad at him after all. So in the first couple sentences, we have the situation. Okay, she has climbed way too far up in a tree, and now she is stuck. All right. We have now she was stuck as a sequence word, and then the word then she heard him call up. We have descriptions, like I like how she says she didn't just climb from branch to branch. She scrambled from branch to branch, and she felt foolish, not just silly. These are great descriptive words. These are vivid words. And then we have a nice closure. We do. She decides not to stay mad at her brother after all. Now, writers set the scene at the beginning of a fictional narrative. Writers include characters or narrators and give details about the situation or what's happening as events in the story begin. Details can tell about the story's settings or what the problem is. Now, suspense is a reader's feeling the curiousness, the curiosity about what in the world's going to happen next in a story. One way that writers create suspense is to give hints about what might happen. And this is something that's called foreshadowing. So, from Sarah Plain and Tall, instead of Papa went to get Sarah, the author wrote, this is found on page 209, and then Papa drove off along the dirt road to fetch Sarah, Papa's new wife, maybe our new mother. How do the author's sentences set the scene? Much more interesting the way the author wrote it. The sentences tell us that Anna's father is going to pick up someone named Sarah, and that she might become Anna's stepmother. The story is probably going to be about the family and how they deal with the changes. So look in your reader's notebook, page 93. Focus trait is ideas setting the scene. Setting the scene means telling the reader who the main character or narrator is and what's happening as the story begins. So this chart below lists questions that a writer answers to set the scene. Read the example answers and then complete the chart with answers of your own. So, you are going to pick I'm guessing you're picking a story. You are going to answer a question based on your story. So you're going to answer who the main character or narrator is, what he or she is doing, where and when the events are taking place, and what problem the main character faces or the narrator faces. Now, everybody's answers for this will be different unless everybody uses the story Sarah Plain and Tall, but you can use your favorite story or you can use this week's text. That's fine. So complete this chart. These are just examples that they've given you to make sure that your answers are in complete sentences and include the correct information.